What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, L Teddy 27.
What's good tonight? Right about the hood.
Oh, dear God, I'm already eating a drink. Look, a damn mess. Just a damn mess. No means no, and yes means no. What up, 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 what up? What's good, people? What is up? What is up? What's up? It's me, L Teddy 27, and I'm back, y'all, for another review. This is going to be my review for Chasing Atlanta. This is season 4. It is episode 11. And this is the reunion part 1. Now, let me give some advice before I get started. This is to Dario and all of the other EPs and producers, editors, or whatnot. Understand that as a reviewer, just common people who watch shows, television has a format, okay? You sitting up here forcing us to go through hour and 15-minute, hour and 32-hour shows, that's just not going to cut it. It's like I'm sitting here for a full feature movie or something. Even on network television, an hour-long show really only has 41 to 44 minutes of actual content. A 30-minute show has around 22 minutes. My point being, don't sit up here and force us to suffer through this much of the bullshit. A lot of that stuff should have been left on the editing table, okay, in this reunion. And I'm not saying it couldn't have been 2 parts, but what I'm saying is do a better job of getting right down to the nitty gritty, creating the story, painting the picture, but doing it and have every moment deliberate, intentional, and right to the point. Because some of this could have been cut out. And an hour and 15 minutes is excessive. I don't care what you're producing, unless it's a full feature movie, which means there's just one and then we moving on. I mean, y'all shows are longer than the hour-long HBO shows. Even those hour-long HBO shows, I know they don't have commercials, but even those, they give you about 55 minutes, 57. They never give you a full hour. Girl, y'all be giving us a full hour, 15, hour, 30, hour, 40, and bitches be sitting there like, please, God, I just need these moments of my life back. So that's just my advice before we get into all of this that's going on. Let's start out with the fashions. Cameron, now y'all know I told y'all I love me some Cameron. I love me some Cameron. But listen, what he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work for me. It doesn't fit him. Like, it doesn't fit his aesthetic. It didn't go with him. And maybe on someone else it would have went well, but for him, it just didn't fit him and his aesthetic. Travis looked like the pastor of a gay megachurch on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequence. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Iyanla Vanzant's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. And you know you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. Anyway, Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the 3 kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, I ain't know, honey. I ain't like that either. Dominique, in true Dominique fashion, listen, he is not gonna be outdone or outdid when it comes to looking a damn mess. Just a damn mess. Child. Y'all see my thumbnail, girl. Dominique, I will say, Dominique, listen, y'all know, I think it was episode 3 of this season. We made the concerted effort to make sure we highlighted Dominique and his fashions for every other thumbnail this season. And we accomplished that. And I want to personally say thank you to Dominique. If I see you in the streets of Atlanta, girl, I'll give you a hug and thank you, honey. Appreciate you for the thumbnails. For the inspiration for my thumbnails. Dominique's fashion is a whole mood. It's a whole experience. Do you understand me? Child. I mean, just a whole ass mood. But y'all see what he had already. Wayne, it was just too much with the blue Wayne. That hair, the nails, the shirt, everything was blue. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see. Can I see? Hit me up in my DMs because I do want to see if you had on some blue thongs or blue, jock strap or something like that. Because I would love to see it. Just hit your boy up. But it was just way too much blue. Q looked like he was somebody's deacon. He was on somebody's deacon board down to the AME church. I wasn't here for it. It was real boring and real drab. We'll get more to Q later on. and his wardrobe. Trust me, we'll get there. Anyway, Oliver, he had on that unbroken white, like he was going to get initiated into somebody's sorority or something like that, or fraternal organization. I liked the outfit on him. It fit him. It went with, Dominic. It was Dominic, not Dominic. It went with Oliver. It fit Oliver. I liked it for a reunion outfit. It was cool. That was, of all the outfits that I've discussed so far, that was the first one I liked. Kendra, I liked Kendra's whole look. Her dress was made by Ariel, her from Chasing Dallas. Her hair was done by Dior from Chasing Dallas. I liked Kendra's look. Some people didn't like it. Some people said the dress was too gaudy. It just wasn't for me. I liked it. It worked for Kendra. This is the best Kendra done looked all season to me. I really liked Kendra. Lauren was cute. The dress was cute. I liked her whole look. She looked good. Makeup was good. I liked Lauren. She looked good. Troy, the print on that suit was a bit much for me, the little floral print, but it fit for Troy. Troy can pull that off. It works for Troy. I couldn't do it, but it works for him. I liked it on him. I liked it with the turtleneck. However, Troy, first lesson in being a man and learning to dress, you got to take the tags off your suits. You do not keep tags. Come have some couth. Can we learn some couth, please? You always cut the tags off of the sleeve of your blazer or your suit jacket. Just come on now. First lesson you learn. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy, I have a question. Are you telling us something by wearing this turtleneck? Because you was wearing the hell out of that turtleneck. As if you are very comfortable. We saw another scene that they showed earlier. You had on a turtleneck. Are you trying to tell us something about what's going on downstairs? Because I love me a good turtleneck downstairs. I love my men built the way the good Lord made them with all parts intact. Are you trying to tell us something, Troy? Inquiring minds want to know. You can hit me up in my DMs. I want to see. I'm just saying I want to see. Anyway, let me know, Troy. Hear me up. I'm here. And those were all the fashions. So then they started off talking about this contract talk. That shit went on and on and on. I did not care. And I don't think any of us collectively cared about this whole contract situation. That shit is over and done with. I didn't care. Imani, I think this is where Imani lost her audience. She spent too much time, too many questions on this contract. That situation, I'm not saying you couldn't ask no question. It should have been one or two questions and kept it moving. It just kept going on and on and on. And she started asking other people about it. And they were like, girl, move on. I ain't even write no notes on that contract situation because I ain't really care. She spent way too much. Imani spent way too much time focusing on some bullshit nobody cared about. Then they discussed Dominique's entrance onto the show, and the fact that he's very outspoken and messy and be having way too much going on. So then, somewhere during a point where Oliver was being asked about what Dominique had to say about Lauren or whatever, Troy blurted out that Oliver and Lauren aren't friends anymore. And I was trying to figure that out. I guess we'll get more of that later. But he blurted out that Oliver and Lauren weren't friends no more, child. I don't know what's going on with that. Y'all let me know. Y'all be doing way more stuff than I do. But child, he tried to do it underneath his breath, but production caught it, and baby, they typed that mess right on the screen so you can make sure you heard it. Child, please listen. I need all y'all. This is where we're going back to Q. I talked about how he looked like a deacon down to the deacon board at the AME church. However, after you watch this review, of course, need to take a moment and go back to from this point when they talk about episode or the end of this first part of the reunion. You need to go watch Q. Why you need to go watch Q? Because there was a lot going on in between that young man's legs. That bullshit that he was giving, the way those fans were hugging, everything going on down there. Go back and look. It was a lot going on. I couldn't focus. It was a lot going on. During the entirety of this discussion, I didn't really care what they was talking about. I didn't care about Dominique and Lauren and all of that stuff. But that gave me a comfortable distraction because I was like, oh. At one point, it was laid up. A lot of times it was like sitting like right comfortably in between the legs, like, down. But then at one point, it was laid up, sitting to the side. And it was very pronounced. I was like, oh. So this what we doing, Q? Okay, I see you. I shall. Y'all go back and look. Y'all know I don't miss much, honey. Anyway, Dominique got mad because Oliver called him a punk. Girl, get your life. Girl, you're a punk. You're a punk. You're a punk. A sissy. A pretend mom. Shouts out to Noah's Ark. Shouts out to Noah's Ark. What was that? Season 2 of Noah's Ark. Love those art. Anyway, a pug, a sissy, a pretend mom. Girl, that be you, Dominique. Girl, anyway, then they got into this discussion about green screens and people get mad about what people saying green screens and people trying to reach people back channel about green screens. And this is the bane of the existence of all reality television. People that are on these shows, be it on the ones that are on YouTube or even the ones that are on actual network television or cable television, the green screens tend to get people in trouble because people don't fully embrace or understand, even after they've been on the show for a while, that the green screens serve the purpose of being messy. The green screens, like Oliver said, is a moment for the person to tell not how they feel right now, but to go back in that moment and conjure up what their feeling and their emotion was at that moment. And sometimes you got to go back and you got to really tell, bitch, I ain't like that hoe. Now, I was just at that bitch house. We was just having, mimosas together. We was having a good time. But if I'm going back and reliving what happened on this at that time, a few months ago, a year ago, I ain't like that hoe. And so people get all in their feelings. And in order to have good television, you got to have a flair for, being shady. And you got to throw a couple punchlines here and there, a couple one-liners in here and there to make good television. And I think people just... And it's not just this show; it's all of the reality TV shows. That's something that you have to grapple with and embrace when you decide to come on a show like this. Those things happen, and you just have to know and be secure in where you are with that person at that time. As even if they're not your friend, acquaintance, whatever they are, cast member, co-worker, embrace where y'all are at that moment, giving no credence to the fact that a bitch had to shade you in the green screen. It is what it is. I don't know, but I saw that, and I know that's a lot of times a problem. When they started crying and stuff and had all that going on, shout out to them down. I ain't really care about all that crying. I went back to focusing on the bulge between Q's legs. I went back to the bulge, and I wasn't paying attention. I ain't really care. It is what it is. Then there was the Dominique and Travis argument that started about the whole pull down or whatever. Y'all go back and look. Was Dominique's outfit coming apart? Like his sleeve or whatever? It started to have like threads hanging and loose and stuff. Did he rip it or something? I don't know. It looked like his outfit was coming apart on the sleeve or whatever and shit. I ain't know. But my thing about Dominique is Dominique be doing too much. Girl, take a breath, okay? Girl, take a breath. Take a sip. Have a drink. Have a blunt. Smoke a blunt. Do whatever you got to do. Baby, Dominique, sweetheart. Girl, you got a man. You have a career. You got some friends. You got a little notoriety from the show. Girl, sit back. Girl, you be getting way too riled up and you be getting way too pressed about issues that you should have been done got over. Girl, if it was me, girl, I'd be sitting right there just as perched. Like, girl, oh, you want me to talk about that? Give a little soundbite and keep it moving. I would have been sitting just like Q. Like, girl, I'm just here to be cute and show y'all my dick and bulge. Like Q. Okay? Shouts out to him and his bulge. But Dominique, and now I agree with Travis. Dominique does always look to try to have a moment. Every time you see him on screen, he's trying to have a moment. If it ain't with his outfit, it's with his mouth and how he will go from 0 to 100, like over like the littlest thing, and he just be trying to have these moments. Like, girl, sit down, girl. We see you. The outfit enough. We gonna see you, girl. You ain't got to do all this rah rah rah, yelling, screaming, laughing, and he just is overbearing and it's too much at times. And I feel like we don't get to see the real Dominique, because he just wants to have these moments. I also during this time noticed Troy seemed to be doing a lot of joining in the fight with Dominique. And I was like, Troy, you need to take a step back. That's Dominique's fight with Travis. You let them have that out. But Troy was chiming in a lot, and I felt like that was Troy, you could have just stayed out of that. I know that's your friend, that's your dog, but you could have just stayed out of it and just let Dominique fight his own fight. Fight the good fight for faith on your own, honey. And that was it for the reunion part 1. It kind of went off from there. I'll reserve my comments on Imani and her the job she's doing as host for the very end of the last part. I don't know how many. I think it's 2 parts, so I'll reserve it for the end of part 2. But it is what it is. I don't know. Reunions to me are always a block because we've already watched. We've all this situation. We've already unpacked it as an audience, as reviewers, and things like that. And just rehash it and stuff like that. You be like, girl, and because they really only for a little bitty second talked about the fight. They're gonna spend a lot of time talking about the fight next part. I'm guessing, which means y'all about to get a whole lot of this.
Holy Ghost will tell you, don't win at the church. You can win at the beach. Come on, mama, Jesus! I wish somebody help me.
And you know that you already know. So prepare yourself next review because you're gonna get a lot of it. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.